for everyone. Welcome for everyone. And today we are going to listen some really elevated thoughts, but they will have a special sparkle when we elevate our stage. And how does that happen? We have in us intellect we can use, and we call it soul conscious intellect. And the world looks so different when we just remind ourselves. When we remind ourselves who we are, and our thoughts will be different. And it is like all the clouds will disappear, all the doubts will disappear. So I am gently inviting you to remind yourself who you are, a spiritual being, immortal, that has all the powers, as a beautiful, sparkling star, and who is lucky and fortunate. So I'm inviting you today to listen with this consciousness of how fortunate you are and lucky you are to be in an elevated company. Welcome.
Become a Brahmin soul means to perform elevated actions and to renounce sinful actions. As soon as each one of you become a child, you had the elevated thought that from now on you would perform pure actions and stop performing sinful actions. A soul who performs pure actions is said to be an elevated soul. So your thought was to become a conqueror of sinful actions. This was the aim that every one of you adopted first of all, was it not? By keeping that aim in front of you, you are acquiring the elevated qualifications to achieve that aim. Therefore, you ask yourself, have I renounced performing sinful actions and becoming a conqueror of sinful actions? Just as in the world outside, souls of an elevated royal family cannot have ordinary activity, so too you souls who perform pure actions cannot perform sinful actions. Just as those limited renunciates cannot accept anything dirty and impure, so too you conquerors of sinful actions cannot have any sinful thoughts or perform sinful actions. That is, you cannot perform impure or dirty actions or have impure or dirty thoughts. To perform any action while being even slightly influenced by vice is to perform a sinful action.
Thank you. There's a great wisdom in checking our thoughts, and maybe these words, sin and charity, they can be quite big. And where do we put the line? What is sin and what is not sin? And it is very good to remember that anything I do in body consciousness, with body conscious thinking, and if that come into action, that is already a sin. Sin, I like to see myself a thought word and an action that's against the beautiful truth of my real self. And the beautiful truth is that the soul is sparkling, beautiful, with all the powers, all the virtues. So this is the truth of me. And all the other that takes me away from that is a sin. So this way of thinking puts me into rather anchoring myself in the beautiful truth rather than looking at the dirt, rather than punishing myself. Oh, why did I have this negative thought? And we understand the whole game is played in our mind. So this way we really narrow the whole game in our thoughts. What kind of thoughts I have? And it is so important to check and change and check your thoughts and understand that maybe I have got rid of angry thoughts and really, really bad thoughts, but there is maybe still thoughts that are ordinary, mundane. And we have to check and change also ordinary and mundane thoughts, because from ordinary we slip into even lower. So we have a nice sentence here. We sometimes say that good is the enemy of the best. So this soul conscious aim is really the best. And just to have ordinary good thoughts is actually enemy of the best. So not to be satisfied just with this, nothing bad happened today and I didn't have really negative thoughts. Really check and change your thoughts every moment and make it as a game, entertaining game, with few rules in this game. We have from the Supreme a guarantee once we play this game that we will be victorious. So start this mind game and boxing with different kind of thoughts. When you have ordinary mundane thoughts, remember that you will win this game and not to get distressed or believe those thoughts that sometimes come into our mind. We say that they come from the body conscious mind. Sometimes we call them Maya, which means an illusion. Illusion means it looks like it is something powerful, but it is not. So I would really invite you today to do this check and change. If we only check our thoughts, we might get depressed. Oh dear, there's so many ordinary and mundane thoughts. But do the change, and that is the magic, the transformation of your thoughts. And it starts by transforming your thoughts. I give you an example. So if you notice that in the evening you do and check, okay, did I do anything? How did my day went? So that is checking. But if you see that you made a mistake, the medicine is to visualize yourself already changing it and see it in your mind, or however you can do it. Do the change in your mind already. This is the first change. Just like sometimes we might feel tired or we have a flu and we think, oh, it's difficult to wake up. Visualize yourself doing the activities. If you like to make a tea, if you like to make a cup of coffee, visualize yourself already doing it, even if you don't have any energy to stand up from the bed because of your fever or flu or something. It will work like a magic. You maybe feel in your body that you have 1,000 gummy bands bringing you back to bed under the blanket, but just starting with your powerful mind and happy mind. to see yourself, how you will be active and how you will do these things. And then you are conqueror of your mind, conqueror of your thoughts. So this will be a very good practice. Om Shanti.
Check every action from Amrit Vela as to whether you performed a pure action, a wasteful action, or a sinful action. A pure action means an action performed on the basis of Srimad. An action performed on the basis of Srimad is automatically accumulated in the account of pure actions. So, this is the easy way to check pure actions and sinful actions. You have been told how to wake up, how to sit, how to do everything. If you don't wake up at that time, then accordingly, you cannot create an elevated reward of elevated actions from Amrit Vela, which means you cannot renounce wasteful and sinful actions. Therefore, you must renounce this dependency. You also have to renounce everything wasteful. Some think that they haven't performed any sinful actions, that they haven't made any mistakes, or that they haven't spoken any such words. However, wasteful words don't allow you to become powerful. That is, they don't allow you to become greatly fortunate. If you haven't performed any sinful actions, but you have, however, performed wasteful actions, then you haven't accumulated anything for the present or the future. So much time is spent in doing things just like that. You are not just like that, but you are like a diamond. So understand your own value. Your non-living images have so much value. So much value is given to even a glimpse of 1 second.
Yes. A good reminder that you are not ordinary. You're very special. And by transforming your thoughts into elevated, pure thoughts, this will transform the vibrations, and this will transform and help others to transform as well. So remember that your thoughts are very valuable. Each second is valuable. And we know that things repeat and becomes a habit. So it is such a valuable thing to be alert at this time. This time is very auspicious to create new habits and to stay in the elevated, pure atmosphere with your thoughts, and just with the reminder that when we see ordinary thoughts in our mind while we meditate, it's time to check and change and transform them. So not to be afraid of mundane, ordinary thoughts or even sinful thoughts, to know that we are not putting them into action, we are not putting them into words, we transform them into beautiful thoughts, elevated thoughts. Om Shanti.
Would you like to share? Anyone would like to share a point?
So I found this Avyakt Murli extremely powerful and really, really helpful, because we know we want to become divine, use our divine intellect, and become elevated, just as our Father wants us to be. And we know we want to be like Him. We know we want to follow His teachings, but yet through the day we slip and we fall. But I found this line extremely helpful. To perform any action while being even slightly influenced by vice is to perform a sinful action. So, like you said, we have to check and change. And I find this line extremely helpful to make this checking ourselves. Which vice was it that I have activated and therefore performed a non-elevated, sinful or wasteful action? Did this stem from desire? Did this stem from anger? Did this stem from greed? Did this stem from attachment? Did this stem from jealousy, illusion, ego? So I think I have to just be aware. What is my mind doing? Where is it going? Which vice is it activating? And therefore, what is stemming this thought, word, and action? And like the other day, Baba said, we have to be conscious, not like unconscious, comatose bodies and souls. I have to stay conscious all the time, because the second that I become unconscious, then the vice will emerge. All the old habits and sanskars will emerge. And the way to do that is by empowering ourselves in this early morning during Amrit Vela. And if I haven't set my agenda for the day at that time, like we do for any other activity in the day, we prepare and plan, then that is when I can easily slip into a wasteful thought, action, or word. Thank you. Can you also please share, Sister Johanna?
Thank you. Anyone else would like to share? Being the types of action that we all perform throughout the day, which one do you think is more common? The action that brings happiness, the action influenced by vice, or the wasteful action? Which one do you think is most common? Which one is the most dangerous one? What do you think?
The wasteful actions.
Yes, the one that you don't realize it is waste. It will take 80% of your time or even more. And when you don't realize it is waste, it is nicely put just like that. We had a chit chat for half an hour just like that. I just watched TV just like that. I browsed Facebook or WhatsApp just like that. Just like that, I engaged in a long phone call about some trivial subjects, just like that. but it's a time of great transformation of the world. To waste minutes just like that, you don't realize the value of your moments. Every moment is worth a diamond. Every breath that you take and you have the knowledge that you are a soul, the supreme soul, is worth diamonds. So which actions are most dangerous? Wasteful actions, the moments which are wasted throughout the day. Anyone else would like to share?
I really like the last line, Baba, really highlighting how valuable we are. Baba said that understand your own value. You are diamonds. Your non-living images have so much value. So much value is given to even a glimpse of 1 second. Because I think our 63 births are putting us down, really take us into wasteful things. But Baba really uplifting us, saying how valuable are we? We are diamonds in Baba's eyes, and we should remind ourselves.
Thank you. Would Gita like to suggest a practice for the day?
It was so beautifully put, these 3 types of actions. So why Baba is speaking about it is because we haven't still learned it. So the practice would be to observe our thoughts, and like we learn from our studies that we maybe don't have so many of those sinful thoughts that are gross, but more subtle way when they are about laziness or wasteful. And you described very well this, just like that. So I would like to have a magnifying glass today for the thoughts just like that. So to check and change, and also, like we heard from Shrestha, to really observe this and change everything and remind our elevated pure thoughts. So in a simple way, be alert about just like that thoughts or just like that actions. The thoughts come into an actions, and when you see you are doing that kind of actions, think about what kind of thoughts was before that.
Thank you. Just like that. Have a wonderful day. We'll meet again tomorrow. Bye-bye.